Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars and some of my favourite people and some of the world's biggest stars too. Today we've got a legend for you. The son of Muddy Waters will be coming to the UK for London's Blues Week. It's a 6th night of pure blues in the heart of London from the 14th of January through until the 19th, 2019 at the infamous 100 Club on Oxford Street. And I'm delighted to say that Mud joins us now. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I am really good, and it's so lovely to talk to you. I mean, what a legacy. Blues music is so moving and ever popular. It's incredible how this music has become timeless.
Well, I tell you, I love it, man, and you guys already know that that's my second home where my career started in the UK, actually.
And it's interesting because, of course, we think of it as Chicago blues, but tell us about that heritage with the UK. Where exactly in the UK do you think the passion came from for blues music?
I think it came from the Stones and the relationship that they had with a bunch of Chicago blues artists like Willie Dixon and Ollie Wilson and all those. I think it came from there, man. But, I mean, the UK is just drenched in blues now, man. I love it.
And of course, the legacy of your father lives on forever. You can't help but be affected by his genius, really. I mean, that natural rhythm, that beautiful tone. He had everything, didn't he?
Yeah. Dad was a force to be reckoned with. I mean, you know, he was fantastic by himself. He was a fantastic guitar player. And when you add Willie Big Guy Smith on drums and Calvin and Pine-Top Perkins and all those other great artists, man, you just can't lose with a band like that.
And tell me what your life was like as a child. Was it sort of that story of Gypsy where you were sort of taken around the world with your dad, watching him, learning from him and enjoying his music?
My dad was from the Delta. He's from Rolling Fork, Mississippi. So Dad got a lot of blues there in Mississippi, and I got a lot of blues here in Chicago. You know, didn't do a lot of traveling with Dad.
Talk to me about some of the people you've worked with over the years. It must have been an amazing time for you to be around show business, because, I mean, I look today, I don't think we're making the legends that they were back some 30, 40 years ago. I mean, you were so lucky, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's lucky. Sometimes it can be a double-edged sword, you know, because Dad got some big shoes, man, and what I do, I try to give people a glimpse of what it may have been like that, who may didn't get a chance to see Dad perform anywhere. And I do a lot of my own stuff, man, and I mean, I can't begin to tell people I perform with that just floated my boat, man, like Joe Hollins over there, Eddie Clearwater, Jimmy Johnson, who just turned 90, Buddy Guy. I've been with a bunch of fantastic people, man. The band I'm using now is a UK band, Steve Weston on harp, Eric Rizzoni on keyboards. These is all UK guys, and let me tell you, they eat and sleep the blues. We got Ian Jennings on stand-up bass, who played for the big time Playboys. Brandon O'Neill, who played with Ground Zero. These cats eat to sleep and drink the blues.
And of course, your new album, They Call Me Mud, was released earlier in the year and had terrific reviews and did very well. I wonder whether for you, making music for CD and for Alexa and for all those sort of online platforms is as important as live, because there's nothing like hearing blues music live. Do you love sort of going into the studio? Is that a big part of what you do?
Oh, it's a big part of what any artist do. I mean, you know, if it wasn't for you and people who, your listeners and fans and family, we would be just singing in the shower. You know, we wouldn't be anywhere without you guys, and I can't stress that enough, man. I mean, for years, when I was a young man, Dad used to buy me a set of drums every year, and I used to play those drums and taught myself how to play them for years, and I didn't have anybody to play to. And after a while, I got depressed about that because I wanted to show the world, you know, the talent, you know, and see what people thought. So, you know, you have to have good people.
It's interesting you mentioned Jules Holland earlier. You were on his show a few years ago and you continue to be on his show. In terms of modern genius musically, he's up there, right? I mean, this guy has got such incredible gift on the piano. It's really quite remarkable.
Oh, Jules Holland is just gifted in many ways, man. He's a acknowledged TV personality. I mean, he's a great spokesman. He's a great organ player. I mean, he knows how to do more than one thing.
Yeah. We're looking forward to seeing you at London Blues Week. It's going to be fantastic from the 14th of January at the infamous 100 Club. Talk to me about the being around other musicians at your level doing what you do. I guess for you it's a party. I mean, I'm sure they are paying you, but it's the kind of thing you do for nothing, just to be around people who get you.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, let's face it. There are some people that you just can't be around. Everybody's not the same, and that's what makes this world so great. Everybody don't think the same, but musicians I go around is musicians that they're not hung up on themselves. We all do what we do, and that's just it. And that's another thing what I love about in the UK. You guys over there, man, you could sound like crap, excuse me, and you guys will still cheer them on. It's unbelievable.
There's still a great passion for it, and the one thing I love about technology and the internet and console games and all of this stuff, nothing beats working live. And it seems to me live music is more popular than ever. People will stand in a room with 20,000 other people to hear a live artist. That's inspiring.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it around the world. I get it around the world, man. And I haven't even woke up yet from this sleep on this dream I'm here. So, I am grateful.
What a beautiful way to phrase it, because it is a dream. If you can earn money and be successful at what you do that you would do for free, that's the dream life, isn't it, really? I mean, you would play regardless of whether you had an audience or not. That's so thrilling.
Yeah, I mean, even right now, I've already, when I'm writing like I'm doing now, writing for my next album, I get family members, okay, that's enough, because I'll go around the house singing out loud. I'll plug in and play out loud. So, I mean, it's what we do. It's what we do as artists. So.
Help me with blues. What's the key? Is it the voice? Is it the playing? Or is it the rhythm? Or is it just the feel of it? It's a unique thing, isn't it? Because if you talk about classical music, it's very easy to diagnose how you do that. It sounds very formulaic, but there's something about the heart of blues that's more important than the music itself.
But I'll tell you what I think is just much opinion. I think the root of it, of blues, is suffering. The root of it, the beginning of it, it was from the slaves in the fields, in the cotton fields in America, singing hymns, praying to a God for different things, and I think it started there. And we discovered the big powerful voices, even in the women, like Big Mama Thornton. And then it came from there, and people started going to juke joints and playing one-string guitars and washboards and anything they can make a noise with.
Yeah, interesting. And then again, we go back to your father and that influence. I mean, to be around at that time is so interesting. He was born in 1913, of course, and then we look at where we are in 2018.
We got 1915. If you go on Google and Google my dad's gravesite, and it's just a shame that people would try to make my family side. They don't make it. Talking about on his grave tombstone, it says 1915. They need to leave that right there where it's at. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and I apologize for that. Obviously, I only know what I'm told.
No. I mean, a lot of people do that. Here comes somebody thinking they're a scholar in the blues who wasn't even there in those cotton fields, and say, "Oh, we found some sisters said he was born 1913."
Wow.
Where's the proof? My family buried my dad. He was born in 1915. They should respect that.
Of course. And we look at the life that he led and the battles that people had to fight back then, and we look at 2018 and, of course, the Trump years. Is it surprising to you that we're still having the same conversations about race that so many of your forefathers fought for in America? It's a bizarre time, isn't it?
You don't have enough time for me to go into this with you, because I am a walking Trump basher. I'm surprised if I don't have to get accused no more from Africa, but I bash him. He is the worstest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm in my 60s. He is the worstest thing I've ever seen. And like I say, we ain't got no time to talk about that, but, and I think most of my friends on Facebook and Twitter know my opinions about this guy. Pretty racist. And I mean, not only my dad, I mean, you had Dr. Martin Luther King, who, went through the war hoses and the dogs and all this mace and all this. And here we are in 2018, and we have some cat instilling that around the U.S. I mean, because out of 2 years now, there's still people screaming and yelling for this nonsense and this stuff he's doing to people and saying out of his mouth. It's unpresidential. It's unbelievable.
Not only unpresidential, but unedifying as well, isn't it, at times?
Let me just say this. England has been our allies ever since I can remember. When we went, y'all was side by side with my grandfather and my uncles and them who died on the battlefields for these wars. And he had spoken badly about England. He has spoken badly about Canada. He has spoken badly about every ally we had. And it's I just hope that when this cat is gone, that we can fix this.
Let's go back to the music and talk about that. I know one person who was a part of your life was Eric Clapton, which is surprising in one way and not in others. He was a big part of sort of your dad's life, wasn't he? And in fact, was it true that he was the best man at his wedding in just before 79?
Yeah, Eric Clapton was the best man at my dad's last marriage, and but that was Dad's friend. Eric was. I just knew him, met him, but I didn't. It was really him and Dad's thing. So.
When you listen to your dad's music now, I just said Alexa play Muddy Waters, and there it is. It's amazing how accessible the music is, and that's got to be a beautiful feeling to know that your dad's with you, whether you're in the car, on the phone, or screaming Alexa.
Well, Dad lives in me, so I understand. Yeah, Dad lives in me. I mean, I ran from the blues a long time, man. I tried to get away from it because, that was what it was, and I couldn't run no more. It ran me down, But I had to go get some blues first, man. I had to, I was brought up in the streets of West Side of Chicago, in a pretty rough place, man. And I had to get some blues. I had to get my bumps and bruises. You just don't get up in the morning, go outside, right, and say, hey, look at me, I'm a blues man. I just think personally, this just mud talking, that you have to go through something, man. You just don't get up and proclaim yourself as king or a blues man until you go through something, You have to go through some suffering, man. Dad said that real clearly in the interview. You have to go through something.
I'm very embarrassed to say I've been to New York, I've been to New Orleans, I've been to Vegas and LA. I've never been to Chicago, and they tell me it's one of the most beautiful and brilliant places on earth, despite its problems. Is it a tourist attraction? Is it a place I should visit?
Yeah, Chicago is a great place, man. And if you can go to New York City, if you can go to California and unless you can come to Chicago. Every major city in the U.S. got flowers, so there's no one than the other.
We can't wait to have you here in London at London's Blues Week. It's a 6-night of pure blues in the heart of London, 14th to the 19th of January 2019 at the infamous 100 Club on Oxford Street. Get tickets now and see the brilliant, the one and only Mud. It's so great to talk to you. Thank you for your time and coming on the show. Mud Morganfield, great to talk.
Thank you very much.